Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty. Right before you, there is this character wearing a shirt that states, "Destroy racism. Racist people are not my type of people." Do you recognize him? Let me give you a reminder. Now, does he look familiar? Yes, it is. Matt James, the Bachelor for 2021. And we're going to get into this shirt and the meaning behind it. But before we do, let's give a little recap as to why he is making news. So, other than the Destroy Racism shirt, which is ironic, considering the fact that he chooses to be with a racist. Yes, after all that brouhaha, I can't be with you, you don't understand me as a black man, you don't understand my plight, you're very insensitive to my issues, insensitive to history. He goes back to this racist chick, Rachel Kirkconnell, who unabashedly attended an antebellum party and who has a history of liking antebellum themed pictures on TikTok and other social media outlets. So after all that, Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell are back together. After all that gas he blew out of his ass. You don't understand me, blah, 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 blah. Okay, 1 month after Bachelor star Matt James broke up with his season's winner, Rachel Kirkconnell, on national television, citing her history of racist actions and ignorance, the couple are rekindling their relationship. Huh. Yes, really, after all that. We quote something from Get Out, but frankly, we're exhausted. Yeah. The duo have been spotted together in recent weeks in both New York City and Los Angeles, with James now confirming to People that they are indeed back in each other's romantic orbits. Romantic, okay. I've seen Rachel a handful of times, he explained. I'm not pursuing any relationships right now outside of that. I said I was going to focus on my relationship with her, and that means focusing on it. If you're confused about this reconciliation, it's because it's the antithesis of everything James stated during his Bachelor final. At the time, he said that learning about Kirkconnell's past, coupled with her initial defensiveness, made it clear that we can't be together. Well, something changed his mind. But let me just say one thing. Biracial people, the black and white biracial type, have a tendency to get with racist white people. And I don't know what type of water they drink. But anyway, let's move on. And here he is with his racist white woman, who he thinks that somehow he can redeem. He issued a statement stating that while people are going through, I guess, their transformation or trying to change, that we should stick by them. Well, no, we shouldn't. We need to leave them to deal with that. Sometimes things that are left in the past is better off in the past and just to move forward. Unless you have an ulterior motive, which we will get into. Now, he dumped this biracial woman here. She may identify as black, but her name is Michelle Young. She seems like a beautiful soul, by the way. But I want to point out something too. Most biracial men, U.S. biracial men, tend to prefer white women. They don't even like their own type of women, biracial. And she is just like Matt. She has a white mother, black father, like Matt. But guess what? She's too black for even Matt. Most biracial women are too black for biracial men. They prefer the lily white. The Bachelor. Did Matt James disrespect Michelle Young when he dumped her? Here's what happened when they split. The Bachelor Michelle Young says Matt James refused to talk to her right after their breakup. Basically, let me break it down to you what happened. She wanted closure. She wanted just to speak to him for 2 minutes. That's it. And in speaking to him for a couple of minutes, she was not going to try to change his mind. She just wanted closure. Because she didn't really understand. After all, he did lead her on to the final rose. But then he dumped her for a very foolish reason, which is very strange. Very odd that we will get into. Okay, and here it is. Fans of the show were enraged after she was dumped right after she brought out the matching Mr. and Mrs. James jerseys during the evening portion of their final date. Everything seemed to be going well until she brought out those jerseys that she meant a gift to him. That is when Matt said he realized that he wasn't there yet with Michelle and that he was ridden by a lot of doubts about their future as a couple. At that moment, he knew he couldn't carry forward the relationship and told Michelle exactly how he felt and broke up with her. So, the jerseys about Mr. and Mrs. James, and I've seen that, by the way. He was taken aback by that. And that seems to be the catalyst as to why he broke up with Michelle. Michelle, you didn't lose anything. Consider yourself lucky. You dodged a bullet. Really, he's very confused, very immature. Couldn't even give you 2 minutes. He should have given you 5, 10 minutes, just so you can have closure. Any decent person, decent caring person would have done that. But apparently he didn't really care about your feelings. He didn't care about your emotional state. So therefore, you dodged a bullet. However, this racist thing here, he's given her all the time in the world to redeem herself. She's going to antebellum parties, liking racist pics, but yet he's jumping through hoops, jumping through fire hoops, giving her the benefit of the doubt. He's there for her as she redeems herself, as she goes through some type of self-analytical therapy. He's there for her. But he couldn't give Michelle just 2 minutes just to so she can ask questions for closure. But yet he's given the white racist woman his life pretty much, all the time in the world. See, I knew this was not going to work with any black female or biracial female. I knew that. Because it's not what most biracial men do. They do the white thing. After all that, Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell are back together. Now, with Rachel, he told Rachel that, let's go back to what he told Michelle about the shirts. Michelle just brought out the jerseys, matching jerseys, Mr. and Mrs. James, and he felt like that was just too much. He was just so overwhelmed by that. But yet he told the Rachel girl, I love you. And I can picture a life together with you, something like that. And I can picture you being the mother of my kids. That's deeper than the t-shirts or the jerseys that Michelle brought out. So dumping Michelle because of the jersey thing was an excuse. He had his mind made up all along, believe me. And I want to point out something to you about that little jersey that he wore that says end racism or whatever. The type of racism that he wants to end is for a different reason. It's not for black unity, for black people to be unified, to be together, to work together, to build a strong community, and so forth. It's not anything like this to express and show black power among each other, to love one another, to forgive one another, to be there for one another as a black people. No. This type of shirt right here, Destroy Racism, that he's rocking. Racist people are not my type of people. This type of racism that he wants to destroy is only for the benefit of building a coalition and ties with white people. To have access to white women, to have access within the white community. They want to join hands with the white community. They want to build with white people a kumbaya to be accepted by white people. It's evident right now that he prefers white women. So he does not want white women to be racist. He does not want white people to be racist. This Destroy Racism is aimed at them. He wants them to look at the shirt and destroy the racism in which they have in their heart, to break down walls, to reach out to him, to reach out to black people, is what he wants. That's what this Destroy Racism shirt means. It has nothing to do with black building together, black unity, black love. Nothing about that. So, I guess temporarily you can say he got his wish. He got the white woman that he wanted. She can reproduce the desired children that he pictures. Even a biracial female like him, the children are too black. He wants mixed children that only a white woman can reproduce. So no, that shirt does not have me fooled at all. I've been aware of that. I've been aware of the actions of most biracial black men in the U.S. as to what they like and what they prefer. And if I can go out there and make a prediction, if she's racist, surely it's going to come out sooner or later. It is something that you don't get over. It's something that you deal with for the rest of your life. You have to constantly work at and work on keeping it in check. I truly believe that she's with him right now is because it's a victory for her. I mean, she actually won the Bachelor. He came back to her. She get a chance to be with the black man to prove that she's not racist. She gets to, in a way, soothe her own conscience, which he's too dumb to realize because he's so caught up and fixated on being with the white woman. So I had told you that I would break down what that shirt meant, and that is exactly what it means. And another one bites the dust. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you all beyond and through.